Sure, sure. Yeah. So the art of the specific is a knee chest solid headpiece upper cervical technique. It's really more so, the side of, we talk a lot about, the highway that you're driving on is called upper cervical. That's just meaning I'm on the highway of upper cervical. This is the way I approach a patient. This is my art as it relates to the chiropractic profession. Now, whatever car you decide to drive in on that highway is solely going to be up to you. I mean, docs that do AO get great results. Docs that do Blair get great results. But it's because we're all on the same highway. We're just driving different cars. Some are driving a Porsche, some are driving a Benz, some are driving a Lamborghini, but ultimately we're all getting to the same destination. But the goal, I think, as a chiropractic student, I think I really want to relay to your viewers is that we're all playing the game of golf, right? But the goal is to get the ball in the hole with as few swings as possible. And in chiropractic, it's no different. We're trying to clear a patient out with whatever means you're using. For us, it's computerized infrared thermography. We want to clear the scan because that tells us, according to the science and the research, that this patient is clear of nerve interference, which we can see, we can visualize, we can measure. Our goal is that. And so we want to get to that point with as few adjustments or as few swings as possible. Now, whether you're using Blair, the art of the specific, AO, as long as we understand the goal is similar, now we're all just on the same journey, but who can get there the quickest, right? And so BJ on average was adjusting around 35 to 40% of the time. It's because BJ was a master. He was unbelievable in his craft, way ahead of his time, which now what we've tried to do is there's a lot of docs that will say they practice the way BJ did. And I'm just here to break that to people that nobody practices the way BJ did because nobody was there when BJ was. BJ used an NCM, which was because that was what was available to him. And so, we understand that computerized infrared thermography for us is a great neurodiagnostic indicator that's backed by science, backed by research that looks at the nerve system, right? No, it basically tells us when and when not to make a correction. Now, the biomechanical x-ray series that we use tells us where. And so the x-ray gives us the identity to know where. Now, a lot of our assumptions based on biomechanical x-rays come from Panjabi and White, which is Spinal Biomechanics 101. We know what the bones should do normally, and so we're just essentially on x-ray looking for normal biomechanics, which inherently also allows us to pick out abnormal. And so we're able to pick out constants, variables, multiple listings, but more importantly, what's the one listing that pockets all the balls, that clears the graph, and that ultimately is going to give this patient health and healing because they're free of nerve interference, which we know blends into the philosophy of what it is that we believe, which allows innate to flow through the middle impulse down through the body out to the tissue cells and restore someone's health. And so we teach that. We teach computerized infrared thermography pattern analysis. We teach biomechanical x-ray as we interpret it today. We teach the actual knee chest adjustment, which is the way that BJ sort of evolved through. He went from sort of a full spine adjustment to a knee chest posture to a side posture, kind of back to a knee chest posture, kind of back to a side posture. And there's a lot of, and until we get there one day and can ask him why he did that, we'll never know. I have some assumptions and some beliefs and some opinions, but it really doesn't matter. I don't think, personally for me, innate knows the difference between a posterior arch or a transverse process contact or a side posture or knee chest. It's just we're trying to deliver a force at the most advantageous way that innate can adapt to create the chiropractic adjustment, because we don't make the chiropractic adjustment. We just apply a universal force that can be adapted by innate, which then goes back to our philosophy, right? And so I just love the art of the specific, and it resonates so much with me, and I'm passionate about it because it truly allows a practitioner to have passion behind the true understanding of philosophy, how it blends with the science, the thermography, the x-ray, and the adjustment itself, and the validation of the adjustment with the post scan. And then the art, which is just, Ben, you and I can both paint a picture of a cell phone, and people may be able to see that it's a cell phone, but they're going to look a little bit different because your art's going to look a little bit different than my art. And so one of the things we really preach to our students also, that we teach, and our docs also, is your art is unique to you. If you can make the argument to me that Atlas Right or an ASR is what you're going to take today, and you have a logical, rational reasoning behind that, then I'm going to be behind you, because the scan's going to validate ultimately whether you were right or wrong, not me. And innate's going to make that decision for you, right? And so if I make the argument that I see a body left, and my art's a little bit different on the way I deliver the thrust, but at the end of the day, we're both shooting the ball in the hole, and you get it in there in 4 swings, and I get it in there in 3. Kudos to you for being a little bit better than me. But that's ultimately the journey we're just trying to take students and docs on, to sort of, help them build their practice, see more people, and create the lifestyle of their dreams in the process.